Yes.
Yeah, let's just start. It's okay.
So around 1 or 2 days, I got the constant output at 7 LPM. I got around 94%, something like that, with the same amount of material. And now we are trying. It's not giving that kind of output at much higher LPM. So we are stuck at 4 LPM, 5 LPM, it's giving 94%. So I guess I messed up because of the moisture. Not sure.
Yeah, quite
So
like
for 10 LPM, you have used what was the quantity?
quantity of
zeolite.
Quantity of zeolite for?
I think we're about, Anul, what do you think? About 2.5 kgs?
1 kg.
2.5 kg for?
It was 1 kilo per sieve, so just 2 kilos total.
2 kilo in total for 10 LPM at 94%.
That's right. Yeah.
Is that correct? 2 kilo for 10 LPM and 94%.
Not
Yep.
94, maybe like between 92 and 93, somewhere about. Yeah, but
somewhere 90 to 93. Okay. So I definitely messed up with my material.
yeah, the zeolite, we also checked a few other concentrators that were brought in from China, and all the zeolite was shot. So it was all caked up inside.
Okay.
The humidity in a very short amount of time.
Okay.
So,
And anyone is trying with silicate? Has some heard about aluminum silicate?
no, but let me just pass it on to Richard to just sort of officially start today. And then after that,
Yes.
get back to the questions.
We can connect again.
Okay, great. Thank you everyone for joining. Yeah, I know there's some lesser folks today, but that's fine. But just going to do a quick call. So the update from here in Goa is that we've been trying to use the lithium-based zeolite with a little bit of with significantly like smaller sieves and metals, aluminum sieves, to see what the results are coming at the, so that the entire system also becomes a little bit more compact and scalable. So we've been trying doing that, and today we got some good results. I think it was at 94%, 10 liters per minute with the lithium one. With similar plugins and stuff with the other pneumatics parts and all of that was fine. But I think what we changed pretty much was the lithium-based zeolite, which we got from the other concentrators that we had come in for repair actually. So one of the lithium was working, so we plugged.
Nice.
Yeah, but that's off the record. But the other concentrators were anyways conked off. The lithium was not working. So one of them was working, so we tested it out. So pretty great results. And I think I will let Anul sort of talk about that a little bit more later in terms of the questions and stuff. So that's why the thought was to sort of switch to lithium and see, because we all have been working with sodium and the progress has not been particularly path breaking at the moment. So so trying to sort of see whether lithium works is also another one, but decent results at the moment, looks promising at the moment. So that's one update on the engineering side. From the perspective of the other things that are happening here, what I did understand today by one of my other calls as well was around the certification. So recently, I think CII hosted a conference for oxygen concentrators and other things, and they invited a lot of industry and regulation folks together. So what I do understand is the BIS head and the director was also part of the call, and he said that the certification for oxygen concentrators is not defined in India because obviously they were never made in India before this. So they are trying to work around a draft of the regulation for oxygen concentrator at the moment, which will not be available at least for a month's time. So that means to say that the on-ground clinical trials and the output in sync with what the government has also given guidelines for oxygen concentrators to have, like for example, say a display, an output which is showing you the right kind of outputs that are needed for the device. There's some not regulation, but like basic guidelines that have been sent. So I have that data from the government guidelines, and I'll share it with everyone. But what I do understand is the regulations at the moment are obviously not defined, which means to say that that is not something that we should be spending a lot of our time on. But at the same time, if we can get clinical trials going on the ground, it's pretty much the testing on the field can really get things moving very quickly. So that's a good update, at least from perspective of certification, is what I do understand. And because otherwise it'll be obviously it'll take a lot more time to get things rolling on the ground. So that is one. And apart from that, today, yeah, we did a bunch of community onboarding call yesterday. We had the lab coordinators on the call. We're trying to sort of get everyone activated a little bit more in terms of onboarding. And we're hoping to do the documentation as soon as possible with this upgraded design as well from our end in Goa at least. While of course, a bunch of labs in Bangalore, Chennai and other places are also working on documentation of the second level of design that everyone's sort of working around with. So that's a little bit of update from our end at the moment. Anul, you want to add something over there from an engineering perspective? That'll be helpful.
For the results that we got today,
Yeah, if you want to just give them an update in overall in terms of its design changes.
I
What
think going with lithium is the way forward, I think, because while it may be expensive in terms of raw material, its performance is so much more better, 3 times better compared to sodium. That's one. The other thing is, once you use that, you no longer need any of the equalization valves or the orifices and all of that. The halo completely is redundant. So that kind of simplifies a lot of the construction and cost as well. So I'd say, yeah, we are, looking forward to receiving the lithium once we get it. We already have tried today with the sieves that we already have. Results are pretty promising and consistent. So once you tackle the humidity issue, I think the lithium will last about as much as the sodium. So I think we have to tackle the humidity problem and the and change over from sodium to lithium. That's going to be a way forward.
Thanks, Anul, for that. Yeah, I'm going to open up the floor from our end for sort of everyone else's update. So please go ahead.
One more before someone else pops in.
Go ahead, Anul.
Okay, so the other way forward is that I think we are giving up completely on the TVC sieve construction technique. I think there are a lot of variables in it. There is a lot of differences in, let's say, materials availability, the fit and tolerances between different brands of couplers, how well you assemble it, and so on and so forth. In the end result is that your sieve will not be really homogeneous and consistent in terms of if you're making many of them, unless you also set up some kind of many jigs and fixtures to take care of that. But essentially, I think the number of parts needed to make the PVC sieve is just too much. Compared to that, the aluminum cylinder thing makes life so much more easier. So I think that's the other change that we're going to make going forward. We are ditching PVC sieves and going for a aluminum sieve design, which makes life easier for all of us.
Great, that's a very important one. Thank you, Anul. Yeah, go ahead, Arjun.
Yeah, so regarding the aluminum sieve tanks, so now that we're going forward with those, are there any design information or dimensions and documentation which could be set up for that?
We are working on it, but roughly we have an idea of, in terms of sourcing, it should be as easy as getting the PVC parts, because the material used is quite commonly used for constructing pneumatic and hydraulic cylinders. Okay. So it's a common aluminum extrusion product, which is available by length, and you can cut it to whatever size you want and so on. So getting the main body should be pretty easy.
So wherever you're getting the frame components, you can also get the tank components then.
maybe yes and no, because the manufacturers might be different. Those who make the aluminum components for, let's say, shelving may not be making the cylinder ones, because there are slightly different, kind of requirements. There are tighter tolerances for the cylinder extrusions and so on. So because they're used for pneumatics and hydraulics, so stuff like that. But otherwise, availability wise, it should be as easy as the other one as well. The
Yeah.
only thing special thing we may have to do is for the end cap, and I think we may also have some easy solutions for that as we put our heads to it. I think shouldn't be a very difficult challenge, but the construction is so much cleaner, neater, and easier that I think it's a no-brainer that we should use that instead of PVC.
I can concur that I'm also kind of struggling with getting the right PVC components in terms of the adapters and everything. So
Right.
I to move to an aluminum design or whatever. That's as all the
Yeah,
points. that you-
and I mean, fortunately or unfortunately, we got different brands of couplers and adapters and stuff like that, and like they don't play well with each other. Either they are too loose or too tight. If they're too tight, we kind of can't compress them completely. If they're too loose, we end up with leaks. So every sieve turned out to be different, and I think as of now, we're pretty much frustrated with having to do that whole thing again and again. So yeah, let's just go ahead with aluminum and be done with it.
Okay, thanks. Anyone else would like to go? Yeah, Vinod, go for it.
I just want to know, like, what is the end caps made of for the aluminum sieve? Whether, like, where you are able to source it, what type of it?
So the current end caps are injection molded. They appear to be some kind of glass-filled nylon from what I've seen. But we can also do many other things. We can, probably laser cut them from sheets, for example, or we can get them machined as well. So there are different approaches we can, going forward, work on a good way to make them cheaper and easier to produce.
Okay, so you're using the tie rods to connect the ends, or is it
So there
directly
are no tie rods.
in the-
The cylinder, the pneumatic or hydraulic cylinder extrusions, they already have 4 ribs on the outside, into which you just tap the
Okay.
screws that hold the caps together. So you don't need tie rods.
Got it.
I mean, if you are using plain aluminum
Yeah,
cylinders,
that reduces
you
the
need to
weight.
have tie rods, which makes life more difficult because more things to machine and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
this is
again
really the
adds
simplest
to the
way
cost
forward.
and the weight of the.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, great. Quick question. Bhanu's asking, when is the Goa team updated BOM design, when it's expected to be out? We're hoping to, we have been working on it as well, but I think tomorrow will be again a testing day. So once that testing is through, I think we'll really push hard to do it by end of this week maximum, or by Friday, Saturday, if we can, whatever that we have at least with us.
Also, just a word of caution for anyone who's trying to go the aluminum route, as Gorbachev and others mentioned in chat. Make sure you're not looking for aluminum cylinders, but you're looking for the extrusions that are used to build either pneumatic or hydraulic cylinders. Those are the right ones we need. They have ribs on the outside for the end cap screws. So that's the one of the kind that we're looking at.
Yeah, I think Web have also posted that video on the group, right? For the cylinder, yeah, I think Web did. So maybe that.
All right, awesome.
Yeah. Vinod, you're not able to source hydraulic. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to figure out how to do that now.
Yeah, the option which immediately to try what I found is I'm trying to source an existing pneumatic air cylinder itself of that size and to remove the piston and everything and to try it out. But the costing, like for a 500 mm length, it is coming around like 5,000 to 6,000 rupees. The cylinder whole set.
Those are pretty expensive because I mean they're meant for a certain application, and you're going to throw away 90% of that. So I wouldn't say. I think it won't be wise to waste money on that.
Yeah. But the one which you are telling, I got a quote actually of 1,250 per meter.
Okay.
Oh, that's not bad.
That is, yeah, fairly decent.
But I am not able to source that. That is the issue. They didn't have a stock. They just gave me the quote actually.
Oh,
Okay, so let's post this for the sourcing group and see if they can have some headway onto it over the next 1 or 2 days.
yeah. I think Gorba is already searching for it in Bombay as well. So
Right.
yeah, and we all are trying to see if we can find. So we'll all keep each other posted, I guess, on that.
Absolutely.
One point on the sourcing part. So I spoke to Sharif. He's from Vizag. He's part
Yeah.
of the MSME TC. I think it's a technology center. I don't know what it really means, but he said they have access to all the government level facilities and all of that, and he can help us source. Gorba, if you can get in touch with Sharif, I'll share his username in Telegram. It will be great. Thanks.
Okay, great. That'll be great. Thanks, Banu. Cool. So yeah, I saw that they were working on and their prototype is also sort of ready a little bit. But I will open up for anyone else who wants to just update us quickly tonight. Okay, no update. That means to say that I can close the call for tonight quickly. And hopefully tomorrow we'll have some more updates on the design piece on the aluminum sieves and oh, Karan, go ahead. Sorry.
We were talking about that zeolite quantity.
Yeah.
Just want to know what is the quantity and for what, which, how many LPMs
That's what
you're putting in.
I think Anul put it on the chat. It's 1 kg per sieve, right?
1 kg for 10 LPM, I guess.
1 kg per sieve. So that's 2 kgs total
Okay, for 10 LPM. Okay.
for 10 LPM. But the sieve size is, I think, a little different, if I'm not wrong, Anul. Anul?
We have 0.4 here.
Okay, Anul seems to be off.
Sorry, I was talking while the mic was mute and chatting on a different channel as well. But anyway, yeah, the 10 LPM sieve is 450 mm tall by about 68 mm ID. And
Okay.
holds about 1 kilo each. So that's a total of 2 kilos. I think for higher LPM, we'll have to have about 1.5 kilos per sieve. So
Per sieve.
Yep.
Okay, fine.
It'll be
And
about 750.
anyone is trying about activated alumina. Someone told me that I should get those instead of silica gel.
So
Yeah,
we have used it for our desiccant sieve. That the desiccant sieve is about the same size as the rest of the sieves that we are using, and we've had fairly good good results with it, I think. Although at this point we really can't say how long it will last. A lot depends on what is the amount of humidity entering the desiccant chamber. So it would be a good idea to try and remove as much moisture as possible before the air reaches your desiccant chamber. We are using multiple coils and moisture separators and all that. And I think by the time it enters the desiccant chamber, it's already at about 30%. And with a fresh water absorbent desiccant zeolite, the output was, I think, around less than 2% humidity.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great.
But
What
like
is the
I said,
quantity of that silicate, aluminum silicate?
I think it was around roughly 1 kilo, I guess.
1 kilo aluminum silicate.
Yep.
Okay. Is that the same with an activated alumina? I just checked the bill saying activated alumina.
I'm not
Is
sure,
this
but
same?
they also call it as a zeolite water absorption. So technically, and it looks feels the same as the.
It is around 4 kg of with me, but I don't. Okay, fine. Great. Thanks again, sir.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have anything, you can also use the existing 13X as a desiccant because it also absorbs moisture along with nitrogen. So
Okay.
maybe put it in a separate sieve and use that as a desiccant if you don't have anything else to test with for prototyping.
Right.
Okay.
fine.
Great. Actually, Ashish is on the call, so I wanted to get a quick update from Ashish because I think you were at Fractal today, right, Ashish?
Hey Richa, yeah, I was at Fractal today with Vijay.
Nice. What's the update on the documentation and things?
So today majorly we were focusing on getting the leaks and stuff figured out and zeolite recharging because we wanted to measure that what's the degradation in the oxygen percentage with so many cycles. So we did that and majorly figuring out the leaks took a lot of time. So not much documentation, mostly videos and images were taken. So tomorrow, putting it on the Notion, I think would be the task. But yeah, now it's working and consistently for almost 2.5 hours. It was stable and in giving about 95 to 96% at 15 LPM. So oxygen flow meter took kind of some time for us to figure out because it's not working initially, but now it's kind of ready to go, and we're now waiting for the ACP sheets to wrap it up like a machine and then go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, nice. That's great. We're also hoping that tomorrow we can have the updated version to also put it out in the hospital. So day after we should have that, but that's great. But if you guys could work on the documentation tomorrow, that'll be really fantastic.
Yeah, the plan is tomorrow to get Notion like to a little bit sorted level, and then what do you say? Get the so I think he's also trying to get lithium zeolite to test out.
Yeah.
It's also something which we're working on because a lot of there's a lot of wastage which happens when especially we do the vacuuming and etc. There's a lot of dust which comes out and a lot of the zeolite particles are getting crushed in the process of recharging and stuff like that. So that's where I think we're trying to see what we can do that in that area. And documentation, yes, videos, most of it is actually ready, so can't really do much. We'll try to break it down into parts and then do. So yeah, today was not much documentation. Tomorrow I'll take it up.
Sure. Thanks, Ashish. Thanks for the update. Anyone else would like to give us an update? Okay, that's 2 seconds of silence. So I'm going to take that as a no and I'll call it a night. Thank you everyone for joining. We'll chat again tomorrow with hopefully more positive, better, fun, good results for everyone. So see you soon.
All right, everyone. Good night.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Good night.